Should probably close the window just because it's loud. Actually, funny story. The dogs were digging in the backyard because they do that. Specifically, Jaeger does that. And Chester just jumps around him and barks and riles him up even more. And so then Jaeger digs faster and whatever. And they kicked up a rock and it smashed through the outer pane of my window. And now I have a broken window. I'll put a picture up here so you can see. It's very much broken. And it kind of sucks. But on the bright side, it did not shatter the inner window. So we'll have to measure the window and take all the glass out and then get a professional to come in and put a new window in. But I know that that's probably not going to happen till after winter. We have a window in the bathroom that's been broken for 15 years. So who knows? So yeah, I have a giant hole in my window, and right now we have a fence that's just blocking the window off from the dogs so the dogs don't step on any glass that we missed as we were picking stuff up. Right now I have upgraded from sitting on the floor to sitting in a rocking chair. Yeah, super fun. This rocking chair is my great-great-grandmother's rocking chair. So my mother said it is 70 years old, and do I worry about breaking it? Constantly. I constantly worry about breaking it, but if it's in my room and I don't use it, then it's useless, and that is something that I don't like. So we're gonna use it, even though it's really, really fucking old. I have to apologize for my hair. I need to severely cut it. It's getting really long and frustrating and annoying, and I hate it. So I need to cut it. Right, honestly, Chester, please don't whine right now. Please stop. I'm filming something. You're annoying. Stop it. Get help! Anyway, I need to cut my hair. I'm honestly thinking about just buzz cutting my hair or something, because I don't like it. It's annoying and frustrating. I'm not thinking like Rosemary's Baby short, like Rosemary's Baby's short, like that's really short, but like just shorter than what it is now, and then I'll be happy. Okay, anyways, back to / entering into what this video is actually about, which is building a portfolio for going to art college. So all you youngins out there getting ready to go to college, listen up if you're going into art. And all those oldens out there are getting ready to go to college, listen up, because I've done it. So this is just my experience. You don't have to listen to me, but this is what I did to get into the Minneapolis College of Art and Design back in 2011. So building a portfolio is hard. Even if it's not for college, it's hard. It's hard to come up with a cohesive body of work. Chester, stop it! God, so annoying. What was I saying? Yeah, it's hard to come up with a cohesive body of work in general. And then adding the pressure of, oh, this is going to go to a college and they're going to judge me based off of this portfolio. That can add a lot more pressure onto it. But really, it's not as hard as you're probably making it out to be. What can you expect to put in a college art portfolio? An application portfolio. Well, first you're gonna have to probably deal with the application fee. Sorry, hun, that sucks, but it's just how it is. Most colleges will ask for an application fee, and that is money that is going towards somebody just looking at your portfolio. You know, the people that look through portfolios all day, they get paid by the amount of students that they teach, maybe tenure, department heads, you know, their time is valuable, and so you pay an application fee because their time is valuable and you're paying them to look at your stuff. So expect an application fee, especially if you're going into a private art college like I did, which was very expensive. It was about $40,000 a year. Luckily I got a scholarship that paid for most of it. Didn't pay for all of it, but it paid for most of it, which was really great. So what can you put in your portfolio? Well, you want to balance practicality with ingenuity, if those are the right words. I'm trying to like do the right words. So you want to balance like, oh, here's the technical side and the skills that I have versus here's the brain and imagination that I have. First focusing on like the skills and techniques that you have. Still lifes. At least put in 2 still lifes of work that you've done. And a still life is basically a group of objects that don't move, and you draw them, paint them. I'll put up an example of some still life that I did right there. So you can kind of get the groove. Here's some Van Gogh still life, his flowers. Putting some still lifes in there shows the college, or shows the person that's looking through your portfolio, that you're able to make basic shapes. I know that sounds really dumb, because it's like, especially if you did high school art, you're like, yeah, I can make fucking shapes. Like, why do I have to prove that I can make shapes? They're gonna want to see that you can make shapes. Alright, and the best way to show them that you can make shapes, simple or complicated, is through a still life. Another thing that you might consider putting in is a figure drawing. This can be like a self-portrait. I did a self-portrait. I don't have the picture anymore, but I'll put up like a figure drawing right here that I did when I was in college. A portrait or a figure drawing is good because it shows that you have advanced techniques, shows that you are able to work with moving objects. And usually art colleges, they'll do general ed where they'll do like drawing 1, drawing 2, and all you're doing is shapes and groundworks. You don't even get into figure drawing until maybe your sophomore year. At least I didn't get into figure drawing until my sophomore year, but I still had a portraiture in my portfolio that I submitted to show like, hey, I can make these complex things. The next thing that you might consider putting into your portfolio is some original drawings. And what do I mean by original drawings? I mean this side, the more fanciful side, the more personality-based side. So things that aren't still lifes, aren't... Oh my gosh, this car outside has the worst brakes ever. Seriously, dude, you should check that out. It's not good to have that bad of a brake. Yeah, the more imaginative side. So, you know, if you did some abstract painting, put it in that. That's where that would go, is inside that area. And you can put others in there too, but definitely don't skimp out on the still lifes, the portraitures, the basic, the ABCs of drawing. Don't, you know, forget those. Those are really, really important. And then these can fill up the rest of your portfolio. It depends on where you go, but there'll be like a maximum amount of photos that you can send through your portfolio. I think the maximum amount that I had was 15 drawings or 15 pieces of work. And then I had to write an essay, like a "this is me" type of letter, and then I had to pay an application fee, and I don't remember what that was, but I do remember it was over $50. And I had another friend that went to an art college out in New York. He went to Pratt, but then he left because Pratt is very architectural based, and he's not that. He's very painterly, abstract kind of based, so he left Pratt before he finished school, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Right now, I think he's living in Dubai. I don't really know what happened to him, which is really sad because he was a good friend. But he had the same sort of advice when I was applying for MCAD was, you know, have your still lifes, have your portraitures, then have your more personal type work in there too. Because they want to see that you can take all of these skills, all these basic shape skills, and make it something your own. They want to be able to see that. So yeah, kind of a shorter video this week. I didn't really have a lot of time to make a video, so I'm sorry if this is really dull and uninteresting to people. This is what I got, is just some quick advice about portfolio filling. You know, also make sure that your grades are good. You know, take the SATs, take the ACT, what have you, try to get, you know, into the AP art classes and do well in those. Those will really help you build your portfolio, as those AP art classes, you know, if you're still in high school and you're thinking about going. But yeah, just remember to do all those things, but then also take care of your other grades too. When I went to MCAD, I'm not sure any of the SAT or the ACT or any of my grades really transferred over. I wasn't able to skip any classes. I had to start over from scratch. And I really wasn't asked a lot about my grades or my transcript when I went there. Other schools might ask more about your transcript. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure if you go into like a big school, like an actual like university that has a sub-department of art, they're gonna want to see your grades as well as your portfolio. So I would just say, just to be safe, just cover all your bases and do all those things. I know it's a lot. It's a lot to ask of anybody, and high school sucks, and it's busy, and you're busy, and you don't have time, but just do the best that you can. And quite honestly, when you get to college, you still won't have time. You still will be really busy, and you still really will be in your studies, you know, unless you go to like a party school or something. I don't know, you know, do what you wish to do in college, but just do it safely. Anyway, yeah, the hustle after high school doesn't end when you go to college. If anything, it gets it gets more busy, it gets worse. Especially the college that I went to, it was very, 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 very intense. And if you guys are interested in hearing more about my experience at MCAT, just let me know. I'm free to talk about it. I'm down for that. But for this week, I think I'm going to turn off my camera now because I am tired of talking. And my mouth hurts because I got my vertical labret pierced on the 13th, and today is the 18th, so only 5 days ago. So my mouth kind of hurts and I want to go. So anyways, thanks for listening, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!